When we think of modern wars, images of tanks, missiles, and high-tech drones might come to mind. But today, let's step into a conflict that's happening right now. A war that has redrawn the map of Europe, shaken global alliances, and reminded the world that traditional warfare isn't dead. This is the Russo-Ukrainian War, and it's more than just a headline. It's a story of geopolitics, national identity, strategy, and survival. To understand why Russian tanks rolled into Ukraine in February 2022, we have to go back. Ukraine was once part of the Soviet Union, a massive socialist state led by Moscow. But in 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed and Ukraine declared its independence. For years, Ukraine walked a tightrope, balancing its ties with Russia and its aspirations to join the European Union and NATO. But that tightrope snapped in 2014. That year, Ukraine's pro-Russian president was overthrown in a popular uprising. Russia responded by annexing Crimea, a peninsula in the Black Sea that had been part of Ukraine. It was the first time since World War II that borders were changed by force in Europe. But Russia didn't stop there. In eastern Ukraine, Russian-backed separatists declared independence in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. War broke out. What followed was a frozen conflict. Not full peace, not full war, that simmered for years. Then, in 2022, everything exploded. On February 24th, Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine from multiple directions. It was the largest attack on a European country since World War II. Russian forces tried to blitz through Ukraine's defenses, aiming to take Kyiv, the capital, in just a few days. But the Ukrainians didn't collapse. They resisted hard. Cities like Kyiv, Kharkiv, and Mariupol became battlefields. Ukrainian citizens, teachers, doctors, artists picked up rifles. The Ukrainian military, though outgunned, used Western-supplied weapons like javelin missiles and drones to great effect. Russia suffered heavy losses. The world watched in shock. Putin's gamble to decapitate the Ukrainian government quickly had failed. Instead of folding, Ukraine pushed back. But this wasn't just a local war. The world responded. The United States and Europe slammed Russia with sanctions. Billions of dollars in military aid flowed into Ukraine. NATO troops were stationed in neighboring countries. Suddenly, a regional conflict had global consequences. Gas prices soared. Food shortages hit Africa and the Middle East. Because Ukraine is one of the world's biggest grain exporters, countries reevaluated their security policies. Even traditionally neutral nations like Finland and Sweden applied to join NATO. The geopolitical chessboard was shifting, and on the battlefield, things kept evolving. Russia regrouped and focused its forces in the east and south of Ukraine. Fierce battles raged over cities like Bakhmut and Severodonetsk. Ukraine launched counteroffensives, retaking territory. Drones struck airfields. Trenches were dug like it was World War I. It became a war of attrition. Who could hold out longer? Both sides faced challenges. Russia struggled with logistics, morale, and international isolation. Ukraine, though receiving aid, needed more weapons, more ammunition, more support. Propaganda played a major role. Russia framed the war as a fight against Western aggression. Ukraine positioned itself as a democracy standing up to tyranny. Social media became a battleground too. Images, videos, stories that rallied global support or stirred disinformation. And the nuclear shadow loomed large. Putin reminded the world that Russia was a nuclear power. The threat of escalation haunted every diplomatic move. Could this war spiral into something bigger? The fear was, and still is, real. If you're still watching this video, hit that subscribe button and join us as we uncover the lost strategies, battles, and turning points that shaped history. Now back to the story. So where are we now? As of today, there is no clear end in sight. Peace talks have stalled. Frontlines shift, but slowly. Cities remain in ruins. Soldiers and civilians continue to die. The world watches, supports, debates, but the war grinds on. The Russo-Ukrainian War isn't just about territory. It's about identity, sovereignty, and the rules of the global order. It's a clash between the past and the future, between empire and independence, and its outcome will echo far beyond the borders of Eastern Europe. Thanks for watching.